Imagine the wild west coast of Canada, once alive with swirling kelp forests and teeming marine life. But by the early 1900s, a profound silence had fallen. Sea otters, hunted for their luxurious fur, had vanished, declared locally extinct. The loss was more than sentimental. Without otters, sea urchins exploded in number, devouring the kelp forests and leaving behind barren seascapes. For indigenous peoples, the otter's disappearance shattered a balance they'd maintained for generations. The entire food web began to unravel. Fish, birds, and shellfish populations plummeted. The coastline, once vibrant, became a shadow of its former self. This is the story of how one small mammal's absence nearly collapsed an entire ecosystem. But it's also a story of hope, of how nature can heal if given the chance. The silent coast was a warning. Remove a keystone species, and the whole arch of life can crumble. Yet the seeds of recovery were already being sown. The lesson? Every creature, no matter how small, plays a vital role in nature's grand design. The ocean's cry for help would not go unanswered. The comeback was about to begin. By the 1960s, the devastation was undeniable. Scientists realized the missing piece was the sea otter. The plan relocate otters from Alaska to British Columbia, a bold, risky move. In 1969, 89 otters were flown to Chequelset Bay. Not all survived, but those that did faced a new world. For years, their fate was uncertain. But slowly, the otters adapted, bred, and began to reclaim their ancestral waters. Their return sparked hope, but also conflict. Some shellfish harvesters saw otters as competitors. Success depended on collaboration. Scientists, government, and indigenous First Nations worked together, blending modern science with traditional knowledge. This partnership was essential for monitoring otters and addressing social challenges. The reintroduction became a model for restoration. Science and ancient wisdom, united for a common cause. The otter's comeback was not just a scientific experiment, it was a community effort to heal a wounded ocean. Against the odds, the keepers of the kelp were home again. The stage was set for an ecological revival. The coast was ready to breathe again. Nature's resilience was about to be revealed. The otter's return triggered a transformation. They feasted on urchins, clearing the way for kelp forests to regrow. Dormant kelp spores sprang to life, and within years, barren seafloors became lush underwater jungles. The kelp's comeback brought a surge of life. Fish, birds, seals, and sea lions all returned. The food web rewove itself, growing more complex and resilient. Biodiversity exploded. The coast's beating heart was restored. Ecotourism flourished, drawing visitors eager to witness the comeback. Revitalized kelp forests, supported local fisheries, and absorbed carbon, helping fight climate change. The otter's impact rippled through the ecosystem, restoring both nature and livelihoods. The lesson was undeniable. One small animal can revive an entire coastline. The coast was alive again, richer than before. The story became a beacon of hope for restoration everywhere. The wild comeback was real and ongoing. The ocean's song had returned. The sea otter's return is a message of hope, proof that nature can heal if we help. Reintroducing a keystone species can restore balance and biodiversity, but it takes collaboration and commitment. The partnership between scientists and First Nations was key, blending research with traditional wisdom. Yet new threats loom: oil spills, climate change, and ongoing conflicts with fisheries. Restoration is not a one-time act, it's a long-term responsibility. We must remain vigilant stewards, protecting these fragile environments. The otter story is a blueprint for hope, challenging us to ask, who is missing from our own backyards? Where else could a single species spark a revival? The journey isn't over, but the path forward is clear. Together we can help nature come home.